Hey everyone, welcome back to another DIY video. Before I get started, I wanted to thank you everybody for liking, subscribing, and share. Hopefully you're liking these kind of videos. This video is going to be, as you can see, about a pool. I've been running this uniquely, very sustainable, easy, DIY friendly pool system. As my wife Natalie, she's allergic to high chlorine, so when we bought the house about 12 years ago, it came with the pool. Not that we were looking, now we love the pool. So I wanted to share my tips how to maintain the pool sustainably and cheaper, easier, so you can enjoy longer season. And number one, solid cover. So if you own a pool and you live in a climate where you have to winterize it, solid cover makes the biggest difference. So this pool was open last weekend and I was able to swim in it 24 hours after I opened it. Which, thanks to a solid cover, it keeps all the containments, all the leaves and stuff out. So pretty much whatever you close the pool with is almost what you open the pool with, the quality of the water. Other than the water sits, so you have to at least cycle it for 24 hours before you can swim in it. So that's number one. Number two, as far cleaning goes, you want to have this been cleaned for a while. Some sort of robot cleaner. So right there I use Tiger Shark. There's different brands there. This is about 6-7 years old. The reason I recommend and I use one of these, typical pool, you'll have a booster pump. I'll try to put a picture in it. You have your normal pump that circulates, and then you have the booster pump that runs a little slapper thing, and those are 1,000 to 2,000 watts each, and it doesn't really filter anything. It just splats around, picks up the big stuff, and try to send the rest of the stuff to the filter. That job is to pick that up. Well, these things, they're smart, so they go around. They got basket and filters on them, so as they walk through or scrub through, they clean. On top of that, they go on the side steps and all that. They scrub the side, so you don't have to do anything. Pretty much you just dump the thing in there, and after 3-4 hours, depends on what their cycle is, you can get one where you can point to them or whatever. But this is a basic one I got about 7 years ago. Maybe longer, and it's been working out great. And the second thing with this is only a 24 volt. You plug into 110, it's a 1.5 amp and a 24 volt system. So your consumption of running this thing is really, really low. So that means your electrical bill for running the pool is going to be really, really low, or cleaning the pool in this sense is going to be really, really low. So I highly recommend getting some sort of robot cleaner that does it, so you don't have to sit there and scrub and do all that. So anytime I open the pool or anytime it needs cleaning, I just dump it in there while the pump is running, and you can swim with it because it's low voltage, and it takes only 24 or 3.5 amp hours. So that's number two that I highly recommend. This place is going to be a bit messy. There's the pool cover pump. I really like this brand. There's a cheaper ones out there. They typically come with a 1-year warranty. This one I think was 3 or 5. I have it for about 7 now, and it works out great. Bit messy here, still organizing. The next thing, and you can do these things as if you already have them, great. Sand filter. So if you have DE, you have a cartridge filter, get rid of those, because they capture stuff. You got to keep cleaning them, keep rinsing them, and keep putting DE in every time to backwash the thing. This thing is awesome. It's a very old school. This has been here since 1982. I just replace the sand every 8 to 10 years, and I use silica sand. So nice thing about these, you can backwash it, and it's ready to go, and it keeps a little bit of back pressure. So highly recommend having a sand filter instead of any others, because they don't filter as good, but they filter. But you see the quality of my water outside. It's great. So I would highly recommend that. So next upgrade, which is pretty a bit pricey, but at the same time it's very, very energy efficient, which a multi-speed pool pump. I think some of these states, the standard single-speed pumps are banned, but out of here, we're in NV area, they're still allowed. I did this about 8-10 years ago. Again, my pump was having bearing issues, so I just ended up putting a new one. So it's a DC high speed. This happened to be Pentair. There's, of course, other brands, they sell the same thing. So the nice thing about this, I can circulate my water 24/7. So, and compared to your standard pump, which again runs about 2,000 to 3,000 watts per hour. This right now, during the day, because I run everything on solar, I run at speed 2, which only is taking right now, if you look at the screen, it's taking 283 watts. And at night, it runs at speed 1, and which is only 90, yeah, under 100 watts. So I can run the water longer, which means, because technically you're supposed to turn the pool water at least once a day, if not twice. So with this setup, I can do more than twice a day, which means the water gets filtered better and it keeps cleaner, and there's less things to do about that. Keeping the water to its, proper cleanness, so you can swim in it every day. And of course, you want to have a pressure gauge. So 2, 3, 4 is my settings. Here, that's according to the speed there, so I can change them as they, if the back pressure builds up, I can just backwash it for 30 seconds, keep a little bit of sediments in there, so that way it runs it. And the last but not least thing, which is I highly recommend, I've been running this over 10 years now. This company, I'm not sponsored by any of this, CL free. There's a lot of copper systems, so I use a copper system. Typically, they just have one tube like this, if you go on their website, with a copper on one side, titanium on the other side. My tube was leaking, I needed a replacement, so I just end up doing my separate. So that's the trigger sensor, so the water flows, kicks in, and this right here is titanium, and this right here is 2 copper plates. So titanium doesn't go bad, you just got to clean them every now and then, which is once a season. And with this, copper deteriorates. They typically have only 3-inch bars, which is about $100 or so. Set last for about 40,000 gallon water. This is what I have, 40 to 45,000 gallon water. Lasts me about a year and a half. And this is 6-inch, so they last me about 3 years maybe. I haven't replaced them since I built them a while, 2-3 years ago. The nice thing about this, there's no chemicals in the pool, so it's a same quality water as a drinking water. And the other nice thing about this, because you're not buying chemicals, so only chemical I use when I open the pool, I use the shock, 4 bags of it according to the instructions, and when I close the pool, I use 4 bags of shock again, and that's it. So as the water sits, you want to use shock. When you open it, because the water been sitting, and this particular pool, typically we run it 3-4 months, just the summer season, and during winter, as soon as you notice, we got a lot of trees here, so as soon the trees start losing leaves, I close it because I don't want to deal with it, and as soon the pollen goes away, I open it. So with those couple 4 or 5 things, and maintaining this pool is much easier. Because the copper doesn't evaporate, so you don't have to refill it. Like chlorine, you got to keep adding it. Like a salt, you got to keep doing things to it, and it doesn't affect the liner. This liner is 15+ years old. It came with the house. I think it was done even before. I've been here 12 years, so it doesn't deteriorate the color of the pool, and the water stays fresh, and you can see it's sparkling. We haven't done any chemicals other than last week when I opened it, I had 4 bags of shock, which already evaporated. So that's all I got. On that note, hopefully you'll like this tidbits on pool maintenance. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. On that note, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll keep showing you more these kind of things if you guys like it. And that's the next project I'm working on. Have a good one.